Welcome to this edition of SKNIS Week in Review. I am your presenter, Carissa Franks. In our top story, St. Kitts and Nevis unveiled its Education Policy Review final report on September 20, which is the first education policy review conducted in Latin America and the Caribbean, which stands as an example of best practice in policy and planning to be emulated across the region, says Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Honorable Sean Richards. The 4 policy domains reviewed include academic staff, curriculum development, teaching and learning environments, and governance, planning, management, funding and monitoring and evaluation policies. Minister Richards said that it was his pleasure to report that the issues and recommendations put forth in the review were vetted and validated locally in 2015 and has since then been used to formulate many of the policy goals and strategies that will comprise the Ministry of Education 5-year sector plan, which is currently being drafted and is set to take effect in 2017. At a meeting on Tuesday, September 20, between senior government officials and representatives of the private sector and civil society, at government headquarters, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris told stakeholders that we must take ownership for what is happening in our country.
This is not just a government job. And what the government is doing is to say, we are taking courageous steps. But it needs more than that. Because what you have is to get people in a mindset where they want to avoid the engagement in criminal activity.
RSS will work with law enforcement to remove illegal guns, arms, ammunition, and more from the hands of criminals. Dr. Harris has asked for the full support of everyone to save lives. Appearing on the government's weekly radio and television program, Working for You, on Wednesday, September 21, Victoria O'Flaherty, Director of National Archives of St. Kitts and Nevis, noted that the archives is given the duty of being the caretaker of records of historic interest, which dates back to the late 18th century. She stated that oftentimes persons are confused with items that are of great importance, and it is the function of the National Archives to determine what should be preserved.
Coming into the present day, something that people don't realize, that what is today's piece of paper is tomorrow's archive. Could be something you want to throw away as well. But these are things that we're trained to identify early through things like records management and so on. So we are given the task of looking after the records created by all the ministries and departments of government, any parastatal bodies, the schools, the police, the embassies abroad.
The director of the National Archives said records should be submitted to the National Archives on a regular basis, and out of the submissions the staff will select what needs to be kept. She explained that her department is desirous of working closer with other departments to make the process of selecting documents and materials easier. In other news, this year's Independence 33 theme promoting prosperity through sustainability and national unity, encapsulated how a stable nation in unity can thrive and prosper. During his address to the nation to observe its 33 years of independence, Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris congratulated citizens and residents on this auspicious occasion, while outlining that the theme was chosen specifically to encapsulate how only a stable nation in unity can thrive and prosper for the betterment of all its citizens and residents.
Our land has seen struggles, hardships and battles for power going over many centuries. Colonial powers fought for this land because it was a prize jewel.
The government of St. Kitts and Nevis has reassured the legal fraternity of its continued support as it seeks to uphold the integrity of the judicial system and ensure it functions as a strong, impartial and independent body during the launch of the start of the new law year 2016-2017 held in St. Kitts on Tuesday, September 20, under the theme The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, the Movement Towards an Accessible Court. Honorable Vincent Byron, Attorney General, gave a brief account of matters pertaining to the justice and legal affairs of St. Kitts and Nevis.
We have seen over the past year the establishment of the Criminal Justice Strategic Criminal Justice Strategic Board as part of a comprehensive response to law and order, public safety and security in our country. This board incorporates those institutions, the agencies and persons who are part of our criminal justice system: the police, the prison, the courts, probation, youth justice, defense force, customs, fire and rescue services, and education, all of which are part of it and will play a role in determining the quality of the criminal justice system.
The Attorney General stated that as the board continues to meet and work as a team to change the culture of crime fighting in the Federation, it is the government's hope that every entity be mindful of how the efficiency and effectiveness bear on the work of the other. He also spoke to the strengthening of the Director of Public Prosecutions Office, DPP, by hiring the services of a Queen's Counsel, which resulted in a noticeable difference of completing cases and a significant increase in the backlog from last year. The Ministry of Tourism and the St. Kitts Eco Park recently joined together to celebrate sugar and its rich history by holding the first Sugar Festival and exhibition. Minister of Tourism, Honorable Lindsay Grant, said during the September 21 event that our history and our heritage are at the very heart of our tourism product. It was just over a year ago when Minister Grant spoke to the ROC Taiwan Ambassador, His Excellency Jawin Chow, and indicated to him that with such an excellent edifice here at the Eco Park, it was necessary to find the means needed to drive traffic to the park to make the institution sustainable.
In fact, I wrote to the ambassador over a year ago, I think it was, indicating to him that I believe that we should seek out the expertise that would see us facilitating here at this Eco Park a mini sugar refinery and cotton ginnery, so that we can showcase our history to our visitors and at the same time get some well-deserved and earn some well-deserved in order to sustain this eco park. So I'm happy that I'm here this morning, and hopefully what we are seeing here today is but the very beginning of what we would see come to fruition.
And that's it for this edition of SKNIS Week in Review. I am Carissa Franks.